everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it, and that means you. I've got a package in the mailbox, which is always good. I like it when I go to the mailbox, open that thing up and peek in and say, hello in there. And something in there says, hey, how you doing? I'm here to see you, man. I dig it. I dig that the most. And the friendly neighborhood mail lady today has delivered a package from the Broken Binding. And they're always exciting because, oh, there you go. The Broken Binding. They're always exciting. They give you exciting packages, but when I order a book from there, obviously it's a book I want. And I know it's going to look fantastic. And at least all of the books I've gotten from the Broken Binding are also signed and limited, even if they're not numbered. But one that I got in the mail today is a book that I've already got a copy of. I've already got a copy of this book, and here it is. It's right here. I've got a copy of this book from Phantasia Press, one of my favorite publishers on God's green earth. They make beautiful stuff. This book is called Mickey7, and the fine folks at Phantasia Press sent me this copy right here. It is illustrated, and it's sweet, and it comes in a slipcase. It's really, really good stuff. Smith's own binding, cloth-covered boards, and all that stuff. And they sent me this copy of Mickey7 by Edward Ashton, a book that I'd never heard of until they announced they were going to be publishing it. An author that I'd never heard of and had never read before. I read this book and I loved it. I really loved this book. And I read the sequel, Antimatter Blues. I liked it a lot. So I decided when the Broken Binding announced that they were going to be selling a new signed fancy edition of Mickey7 by Edward Ashton, I decided to buy it two times. And the reason why is a stupid one. I just hit two and I bought it. No, their price is right. They price them well. The Broken Binding edition delivered from the United Kingdom ended up being $50.68 each per book. And they wrap them all nice and neat in a cool packaging and stuff. And I've got two copies of this one. I've got two copies of The Third Rule of Time Travel by Philip Fracassi, one of my favorite authors on God's green earth. And this one has sprayed edges there. It's the only hardcover edition of this book thus far, I think. No. Phantasia Press also did this one. Sorry. They did a beautiful edition of this one too. It is signed by the author and all that stuff. And I love that book. And they also did Joe Abercrombie's The Devils, and they have a fancy stenciled edge there. Good looking ones, amazing end papers. It's just sweet looking books. They're actually trade edition books with special features, including signature pages that say signed by the author, and signed is always better in my opinion. Now this one actually has a built-in ribbon page marker for that one. The Third Rule of Time Travel did not, no page marker. So they're trade editions with special features. And when they announced that they were doing Mickey7, I had to get it, and I ordered two. But they shipped them separately. I don't know why I bought two books together instead of shipping them together. They shipped them separately in separate tracking numbers and separate boxes. One of them arrived today, and one of them has not arrived today. They got separated somewhere along the way. You don't like to get separated. They're probably sad, probably feeling lonely. One of them is probably worried, might have even missed his flight and all that stuff. But I'm sure my friends at the Friendly Neighborhood Mail Friends will hook us up. This one, Royal Mail. So the Royal Mail folks also had a hand. Prepare for your next adventure. They put a lot of thought into their boxes. Their boxes are like shoe boxes, as you can tell. There might be a pair of Nikes in here, or there might be a book. I could always use a new pair of Nikes too, by the way. But they wrap it up in this expanded paper stuff. It looks really cool. It's really good for starting a fire in a fireplace, or in a bonfire, or any other places you might want to start a fire. This stuff will get you going. So wrap up a few of these and stick them in the back of your vehicle if you ever need to do fire starting somewhere for camping trips or something like that. It might be useful stuff. Or you can wrap up books and ship them to other people. Inside there is some bubble wrap, which can be fun for popping. And then inside that bubble wrap, let's clean up a mess here. You can see this one is wrapped. You hear the thunder? Florida storms in July, the way it always works. The broken binding in there, it's really cool stuff. Each one's a little bit different. You can see the logo looking really cool. Each one's a little bit different. The third rule of time travel was had a ribbon tied on it. Really looked really pretty. And then you got the Mickey7 sticker there. So I got another copy like this coming. I might just keep it and stick it on the shelf. I don't know. It was an impulse buy, and I impulsed and I bought it. But I know when I get stuff like this, I always hate ripping off this cool paper. So now I got one coming. As long as this doesn't get lost in the transit, I got one coming that I can either leave the paper on and shelve it, or maybe I'll get lucky and somebody will be making a tray case for this edition of Mickey7 or something like that, and I can put it in. Otherwise, I'll put it on the shelf, wrapped up just like this. And I don't remember seeing this book. I don't know. I bought it quick as I could, ordered it, and nothing seems familiar. I don't remember looking at pictures or anything of it, but there is that dust jacket artwork, and we'll look and see who designed that in just a moment. But the wraparound dust jacket artwork looks really, really cool. It looks so cool. It looks great for the story. And Mickey7. There's a movie out, Mickey17, and I don't want to badmouth things. Don't say anything if you don't have anything nice to say at all, so I won't talk about the movie anymore. But I loved the book. The book was fantastic. And Mickey is a guy who's got a chance to be on this journey to a planet. Things aren't going so well for him on his home planet. So he's able to get on board a ship, but he has no skills. And they only want skilled people on these ships. They don't want just any old ham and egger getting on the ship to go to a planet if you have no use. But there is a role that's available, and that role is essentially to become an immortal. That's how they sell it. You'll become immortal, and you'll just have to do the crappy jobs that are dangerous that nobody else can do except for the expendable. You'll be the expendable. You'll be immortal. Don't worry about it. Just sign here. You get to go on the ship just like you want to, and you'll be immortal. So it sounds like a win. He gets off the planet because he's in trouble and people are trying to they're abusing him because he owes money. He gets to go on an expedition so he can be safe from them, and they're going to make him immortal, and he gets to go somewhere else. Where's the downside? The downside is this. It's not immortal in the sense of the word that we typically think, where you get crushed and then suddenly you reinflate like a balloon and stand up and walk around and say, man, that hurt. No, you get crushed and you're done. They scrape up your goo and they put you into a thing and they melt it all down and they recombine it and they plug in your memories and all that stuff back into this new person. And it's another one of you. Has all of your memories and looks just like you, and it has your genetics and all that kind of stuff. And that happens over and over. Well, Mickey7 dies, or they think he's dead. He's left for dead. They go back and they make Mickey8. Meanwhile, Mickey7 is not dead, as he was reported, and he makes his way back to the base, only to bump into himself, Mickey8. Now, he and Mickey7 and Mickey8 can't decide who stays and who gets melted down because there's a rule. There can't be two of them. There can only be one. Bad things have happened in other places. And they can't bring themselves to kill each other. One kills the other and then one gets to move on. So they come up with a plan and they say, look, we'll just split time. We'll pretend we're the same person. We'll split time. You work half the days. I'll work half the days. You spend half the days with my girlfriend. I'll spend half the days with my girlfriend. Make a deal like that. And then we get to see how long that goes on. But the book is fantastic. I loved it. And I've been showing you the cover while BSing. But the stenciled edge, the digital artwork on the page edges here is something that seems to be new. A new thing that's going on a lot in publishing. And I really dig it. There's a downside though. If you're going to be reading these editions, there's a chance your fingers will mess up those digital edges and it won't look so nice when you're done. But the upside is you have a fantastic looking book in your collection. And then the top is sprayed and the bottom is sprayed. This one also has that built-in ribbon page marker. It is a trade edition book, and it is a glued binding as far as I can tell at a first glance. This one is Solaris, and I've got other books from Solaris in my collection. In fact, I've got other Edward Ashton books from Solaris. So let me take off the dust jacket, stretch it out, and show you what else is going on in here. There's that wrapped around dust jacket artwork. I told you I'd say who it was as soon as I find out. And it says this: cover art by Liss Minold. No, Liss Minold. Cover art by Liss Minold. Lyssmelold. Foil design by Rachel St. Clair. In paper art by Ping Lu. Art direction by Patrick Leo and Eon Van Aswegen. So stretch it out again, show you that dust jacket artwork that looks so fine, and then we'll show you some other things about this book. I showed you the sprayed stenciled digital edges and how fantastic that looks. But look at the boards, look at the artwork, the foil stamping on the boards. It is so cool. And then there's the spine. So this is one of them books that if you had an extra and you were to display it like that on the shelf, it would look cool. A great way to display, heck, you could display one spine out, one page ends out. All sorts of ways. Maybe I have 2 copies, I don't have enough. Maybe I should get more. But wait, I should get more. This is insanity. It's a disease of the mind. The I wants are getting out of control. But the end paper artwork is fantastic. And now you can see why the stuff from the broken binding that's coming out, I feel like, is the cat's meow. You get so many cool features in here. It's not the everything book, but it's got stuff that a lot of the everything books don't have, which is neat, which is cool. And it is signed by the author. One of a limited edition exclusive hardcover of Mickey7, signed by the author, Edward Ashton, published by Solaris Books in association with the Broken Binding, 2025. And there's the Edward Ashton signature. And like I said, otherwise than all that, besides the things I've shown you, it is a trade edition book. And it's got a number line that's all the way down to 1. Although this is not the first edition of this book, I like number lines that go all the way down to 1. And you can see the pages kind of stick together as I undo them. Some of them sticking together. And anyway, that's often the case with stenciled edges, with sprayed edges. They kind of stick. The stuff on the edges that makes out the picture or the coloration sticks together. And so you can go through separating them page by page, or you could not. Either way, it's up to you. It's your book. But let's take a look a little bit closer at this ribbon page marker. And I'll take it out right in just a moment. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. Take it out. There we go. So some people don't care much for these built-in page markers, and I know why. I can figure out why. It's a cool, neat feature that I do not use in any way, shape, or form in a book. I do use bookmarks. I'm not a true barbarian where I just fold the page over. But I don't use these ribbon page markers, and sometimes there's been situations where they mess up the binding or they damage the paper where it's tucked in and stuff like that. So I can see why some folks may not love them, and then other folks look at them as what they are, an added feature to it. So there is Mickey7 from the Broken Binding by Edward Ashton. Another fantastic edition. This edition is a new addition to my collection from the Broken Binding. They've done it again. They've done it multiple times for me now, giving me something fantastic that I'm very happy that I was able to get. With that being said, I can think of no more lies to tell, so thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it, and say la vie, baby. Doo-doo.